There's a radical force brewing in the vast deserts of Africa, and it's a force far greater than any before it. There have always been women, but no women like these before. The Saharan Queens, or women of the desert, as they're known by the Arabs, are not just a matriarchal society, but one defined by their opposition to the opposing gender. A humble tribe of Butur Berbers in the central Sahara have chosen Laysa, the founder of the Laysaid clan, to be their leader, and through her leadership, Africa will be forever changed. One day, long in the future from Laysa's ascension, her clan will become known as a savage one of man-eaters that make sacrifices to the ancient Egyptian gods and who fight with a ferocity never before seen. Some call their prowess the byproduct of magical rituals, and others the result of a world where men do not control their women, but all cower in fear until their day on the menu comes. This is the story of an ambitious queen and her radical solution to the historical oppression of her kind. This is the Laysaid clan of man-eating witch queens, and the tale begins with Laysa and her plan to escape the desolate deserts of Libya to a greener land in Darfur. For focus, we're going to have chivalry focus because it's going to make us better able to fight, and I should probably get married right away, so we'll just find someone as soon as we can. I think I'll honestly go for like a high prowess husband, just for the extra knight. So how about whatever this guy is? Astan. So we'll let him arrive. There we go. Now we have a new knight. 12 prowess is okay, I guess. We should be able to make an acclaimed knight. So let's see what we got. Anything good? A horse archer. That's beautiful. Horse archer scoundrel sounds good. That'll let us give him more horse archers. And this guy's even quite young, so we can probably get him ranked up pretty well. And now I want to pretty much immediately just migrate out of here, I think, because we have too much domain. I don't want to make any vassals. So let's just go, like, we'll have to fight for it probably, which makes a lot of sense, but I think we can handle it. I basically just want to immediately get down here, so let's just start working our way over. If we offer herd, he'll let us in, so I think I will do that, because having to fight for migrations kind of sucks. Yeah, we made it over here. We have 3 holdings now. We can graze here for a bit, I think, although there's not really much fertility, but we can work on fixing that, I guess. Let's go on Energa as well, because we're going to need the money. We should get a Master of the Hunt first. Master of the Chase, rather. Unfortunately, because I'm a woman, I'm not allowed to actually do the Succeed option, but I should be able to still get some pretty good success chance on our Nerga. Okay, yeah, we'll take it. Not bad. So I could just immediately go over here to Darfur, which seems like a good idea to me. We can even get in there for free by just offering some herd or some gold. But I think I'll offer some gold and just get in there. No, I'll offer the herd instead. Sure. Let's go over to our desired hybrid location. We can start burning down the tribal holdings here. Burning down tribal holdings is great because you get a lot of money out of it, so we're happy to do that. So we're going to burn it all down, of course, because, you know, we're just like that. And now we can begin our work on hybridizing with the Daju, which is going to take a bit of time for sure. Anyway, I've gone ahead and appointed some minor titles here that we can, and I'm going to start building up our fertility, start building up our control. We're just going to sort of work on making a little realm for ourselves out here. Have I already made my acclaimed knight in this world? Yes, I have. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I have 4 of 3 holdings, so I'm going to get rid of probably this holding here, because there's no tribe here to burn down. And I'll try to give it to someone Daju if I can, but I don't have anyone. So instead, maybe I give it to my husband, funnily enough. Just because, like, you know, he could be good for... Like, his land will come back to my children later anyway, right? So that could be good. And beyond that, I think I will now host a Nerga, the capital. And then we will go raiding on everyone around us. I'm going to build the Square of the Karash right away, because this will get us bonuses to all of our men-at-arms, and that's going to be important for us to be able to actually beat people in raids. Remember, we're playing in 1178, and that means that the people around us are surprisingly strong. In 867, nomads kind of just rule the entire map if they so desire. In 1178, though, this is where more the balance of play has swung towards the settled peoples. I'd like to try raiding Makuria, but they're a little bit strong. The thing is, they do have Nile archers who I think we can destroy pretty easily using our Mulatanum. Or rather, our Mulatamun. I think I can go for it. We'll see how we do, though. Because raiding them would be a lot of money, so we'd like to do that if we can. Before we do, I should probably actually station my units. That'd be an excellent idea. The trebuchets won't get any benefit, though, so nothing to worry about there. Thankfully, I started the game with Desert Warrior, which is a nice, you know, commander trait to have. Anyway, Here comes a battle. I'm a little bit worried about how it'll go, but let's see. Okay, apparently it's an easy clap. Alright, well, nothing to worry about then. Unfortunately, I forgot to switch to adventure mode, so we're kind of going to take attrition here, but it's okay. But yeah, this is nice loot, though. This is good to have. We can get herd out of this, which is really nice. We don't really graze much because we're not migrating, so getting herd is very useful. I will try to avoid the attrition. I'm going to go back home right away, and we can re-raise our raiders as adventurers. So let's take this battle, though. This is free prestige. Very nice. Now, you might notice we have like very little herd, and to reinforce our men-at-arms would require a lot of herd. But little-known secret, maybe well-known secret actually, if you increase the size of a men-at-arms regiment, it automatically reinforces to full. So we don't have to spend extra herd on reinforcing and then increasing the size, we can just increase the size like that. There you go. So we're going to do that. And now we'll start raiding again, but this time we're going to put on the adventure intent, so that we don't get any attrition. It makes raids take a little bit longer, but it's totally worth it so that you can raid like much larger areas of land and don't have to worry about losing a bunch of men to attrition. Did we get any prisoners in our battles? No. The one thing that I find is really important as a nomad is that if you get prisoners, you're going to want to recruit them because you tend to have a shortage of courtiers. So it's nice to just get skilled people from the places that you raid. Let's wait here to fight so he doesn't get the castle bonus. There we go, easy clap. That's quite the destructive battle there. Did we get any prisoners? No. One day, maybe. Oh, okay, and now we get wrecked by random rebels. Okay, rip. Well, there goes all my money. Hate to see it. That was a lot of loot we could have gotten home, but it's okay. These things, they happen, you know, it is what it is. Nobatia is a surprisingly strong enemy, but I think we'll be okay against them, just because they seem to mostly be using levies. Let's see. Oh, I think we're gonna... Yeah, okay, we need to, like, do a couple raids and get out of here, I think. This is a very risky play to be doing here. If we do fight, it needs to not be on a castle, so I think we actually do just go back home with this current amount of loot. It's a little bit of a low loot count, but we gotta be careful to not get wrecked. One little funny thing you can do, by the way, you'll notice that with the types of loot with adventure, you get half as much gold and 200% herd, which is the same as pillage, just that you get these bonuses, or negatives in some cases. With plunder, you actually get more gold and more herd, but you raid a lot slower. Normally, you can't change raid intents once you begin raiding, but if you're in neutral territory, for some reason, you're allowed to change raid intents. So despite having just raided with adventure, I'm going to swap to plunder before we go home, and this 51 loot is going to be much more valuable now because of that. So, very well done, Paradox. Epic. We just had our first child, but this is Leah, my daughter. Seems good. We'll take her. I'm just getting acceptance with the Daju. I think we need a chief law overseer to begin building acceptance, but unfortunately I just don't really have anyone that's qualified for that. Now a raider. That's good. Raider's nice. Just more martial, more prowess, more prestige. Hard to argue with that one. Disgusting peasant rabble. The peasants are revolting. Classic joke. And also a war declaration. Okay, free money. Thank you. I love when the AI decides to give me money. Nice thing about peasants, by the way, when you defeat them, you actually imprison the leader, and the leader is usually a really good character, so we'll just recruit his ass, and that's a super good character for us to use. And we also just won the war against this guy, so we're going to enforce demands. It's a free 28 gold, not a ton, but it's something. And we got a bunch of prisoners out of it too. This guy's a Jewish military engineer. He'd be good for a siege leader. This guy is also a Jewish siege engineer. Is someone forget to explain to me the role of the Jews in taking down walls or something? Is this some obscure lore I've yet to hear of? We have this Cushite Egyptian. Take her as well, and we'll take you because you're a huntress. Hunters in your court help you do Nurgas better, so every hunter is worth having. Speaking of hunting, we can actually go for a hunt. Maybe we can get a good Nurga this time. We get to level 3 maybe? No, not quite. Okay, oh well. Not bad, I'll take it. I'm gonna see if I can raid the Makurians again. I think I can defeat them pretty easily. We got Peacemaker now. It's not super useful, but Gallant's gonna be great.
At this point, I noticed my ransoms are making less money than usual, and I remembered that very hard changes ransom amounts. This clued me into the fact that I was unintentionally playing on very hard difficulty, thus increasing the prestige this playthrough will grant me, as well as increasing the likelihood that you'll like and subscribe, right?
Also, I guess, a very hard playthrough. Okay, it wasn't intending for that, but add it to the clickbait list, okay? Oh, war's been declared. Okay, well, let's maybe get out of here and head back home then. It's Kordofan again, which is cute. Let's immediately increase the size on these to reinforce our men-at-arms for free. Nice, yeah, easy clap, and easy clap. Simple as, bruv. I'm not British, but I just find them really funny. We can get a chief law overseer now, which means you can do blend cultures. We're gonna do that. We can reform the culture, and I mean, sure, might as well. Let's grab something like... Stalwart Defenders is really good, but it doesn't fit the build we're going for. Remember, we're going for like the sort of warrior queen vibe here, and we're going to be hybridizing with the Daju to make it happen. So I think in terms of adding to that idea, it's going to take 30 years to reform, so let's keep that in mind when it comes to deciding what we're going to pick, in the sense that we'll be 65 by the time it's done, so we have to make the hybrid after that point. I kind of want the Sorceress Metallurgy one. Is that in here? Yeah, I want this, but we need to change religions first, so we have a bit of time to go. Okay, let's maybe not worry about reforming yet then. Oh, and now Nubia controls all of this. Okay, well, luckily they're at war, so they don't have units here right now, but damn, that's a huge Nubia. That does reduce my raiding options, because Nubia is strong enough to fend me off, I'm pretty sure. With 7,000 prestige, we can now reform pretty much anything in the list. So I think I will grab maybe like Devoted Horsemanship, although it doesn't really fit the vibe we're going for. But it is really good though. Yeah, I think we'll do it. It's just too good not to take. It takes 30 years though, so by the time we're 67, that's when we'll actually be able to use that. What are we going to do about Nubia here? Funnily enough, I do think we can take down his army, but it's just that it's going to be really painful every time, and it's going to cost us a lot. It's going to increase the opportunity cost, or not even the opportunity cost, the direct cost of going to war. I could make Nubia a tributary, and that sounds quite attractive actually. So I'm going to try to bait them into coming into my land, and then that should make it really easy to defeat them. With a tributary war, you can get 100% war score off of battles and nothing else. So if they just come into my land, then I can defeat them pretty easily, because then I can fight them in my territory, which is a good bonus for me. Let's see, looks like they are willing to come in, so come on in, people. Oh yeah, wow, nice. That's pretty good. Now we're going to occupy some land so they can't get ticking war score, and then we'll wait for them to come back, and we'll just fight them again. They're probably going to pay me quite a bit of money. I think they're not super rich. Okay, this is when their army is raised. They're making 9 gold. 35 diplomacy is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think he'll come down and fight me again. We're going to disband and re-raise once he gets here. We're a small enough realm that we can disband and re-raise very quickly, so it's okay. And here we go. This should be the end of the war right here. Yep. Easy tributary. And that gets us, a pretty good income. Nothing crazy, but a nice little income. He's giving us the maximum of everything, so that's nice. Gives us a bunch of levies as well, and that could help us with raiding. Egypt could be a good raid target right now, because they're just really busy. But also, they'd have to just turn around like once and they can come around and destroy me. So I don't know. We've got a lot of piety, but I think it's going to be nearly impossible to convert to Kushite. It's not that bad, actually. Once we get apostate, it'll be really easy. And then we can reform the culture by just conquering these holy sites over here. Unfortunately, I did make the guy that controls the holy sites into a tributary, which means it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's okay. My daughters have age. This is Leah. She's pretty good, honestly. I'd play as her. She's not bad, but let's see what other kids we get. One big bonus to being a nomad in general is that you can pick your heirs really easily. So it makes playing as the best possible character much easier than it would be otherwise. So to make a witch coven, we just need 2 more adult members, or rather, well, this guy's about to become an adult, so 1 more after this kid, and then we can do it pretty easily. Interesting what happened here, though. I'm just looking at the map right now. The Arabian Empire under an Ayyubid, but this is not the main Ayyubid branch. So this is Ali ibn Yusuf, the son of Saladin. This guy died in his sleep. He's like the big conqueror GIGACHAD that's in this area. Instead of his lineage ruling, it's these guys over here. And I don't know what this house even is. I guess it's like a different section of the Ayyubid house. You can see their Kurdish roots being expressed here. Cool, I guess. Apparently I'm known as the Witch. I mean, fitting, given that I am in fact a witch. This is kind of unfortunately a bit of the boring part of the playthrough, where we're basically just waiting around. There's not really much to say or do here. These guys just conquered here though, so I say that, but I mean, I guess we can go and conquer this land so that we don't have like a stealth guy next to us. We could also raid him, but I kind of like the idea of conquering this. Then we can give it out to people that are maybe Daju culture, so that we can get more acceptance. This should be a very easy war. I don't imagine we're gonna make trouble here. And there's that. We didn't even have to fight any battles. We just went off of occupation. There we go. So the culture here is Bhutan because I just conquered it, but do I have any Daju people that I can give it to? Be nice if I did. Maybe? Like 1? There is 1. Excellent. We'll give it to this guy, my knight. He also got a strong hook on him, so he's a very good choice. Awesome.
His land is still Butur, which is a little bit weird, but it's okay. I'm really tempted to go and try and raid the Arabs. And given the current troop count, maybe it's a good idea. The problem is that only about half of this is levies, so this is a much more intimidating army. That being said, the Mubarazan are not as good as they might look because we have horse archers. The bowmen suck because we have Mulatanun. The pikemen are kind of good, the cavalry riders are kind of good against us. Everything else sucks. Let's go for it, let's try it out. We got a lot of men, right? We can do this. We also need to keep in mind that this commander is really good. So, you know, like, it might feel like we're not as strong as we actually are, but having a very strong commander is truly powerful. Become the Egyptians. Let's see if I can fight them in these the floodplains suck for me, actually, but... oh well, maybe we can get up to this desert mountain. But, oh well, let's see how this goes. Ooh, yeah, no, it's no good. That's just too many men. It looked like they had none, then they went to 37,000, so they must have gotten reinforcements somewhere, I guess, but oh well. Let's raid over here just as a consolation prize, so I can get something. Oh, they're following me, though. Okay, they want blood, although maybe not. Okay, they're fighting someone here. Fair enough. I suppose we can raid Abyssinia. They should have some money, but again, not nearly as much as the Egyptians. Unfortunate. We have to get a whole lot stronger before we can face off against the Egyptians, reasonably speaking. And again, we took losses, but it's easily fixed by just clicking this increase size button. Doesn't cost any extra herd. You pay the 100 for the upgrade, and then you get to fully reinforce despite not paying any extra, so it's really nice. In terms of other men-at-arms units, we could get some heavy horse archers to counter stuff like cavalry. So we can probably do that. That sounds good. Okay, we have a nomadic uprising. These are good, just like the peasant rebellions, because you get a really sick commander out of them. There we go. Easy clap. We're gonna get this dude. Yeah, pretty good prowess. Yeah, he's a good knight. Yeah, we'll take him. Recruit him. That's a free 21 prowess knight. Love to see it. We got our first Dynasty Legacy. I think I will just grab Steppe Lords. It's hard not to grab that one, despite not being on the steppes, but don't worry about it too much. How's the map looking, by the way? I haven't really checked on the map at all. We have a big Mali in the west. This is a Scourge of the Gods Conqueror. That's kind of scary for me, but it is what it is. Over in Europe, we see England is doing very well in the war against the French. What are they fighting for? Duchy of Normandy, but it looks like France is actually winning. Okay, good job, France. HRE doing its thing. Aragon conquering Italy. Aragon having a little bit of an EU4 game here. Crazy, I guess, because they're a conqueror. Byzantines seem to be doing okay. I mean, they haven't taken Rum back yet, but maybe one day they will. They're also fighting the Egyptians. Good luck with that. Again, for Crimea. What is that? What is this war? That's funny. Okay, sure. Other than that, I mean, Gurid's doing fine. Conqueror Gurid's doing okay. Yeah, I wonder if Genghis Khan is still around. He sure is. He's a tributary. How embarrassing for you, Genghis. I'm sure he'll get out of that eventually, though. Or maybe he won't. You never know. We're almost at the next level of dominance, which is great. Once I hit the next level of dominance, I can get more grazing land for myself. That's 10k. We can increase dominance. Here goes. Oh, yeah. You could try to become the King of Darfur, which would force us to attack this guy. Sounds good to me, but first let's make our Witch Coven. Let's just hold great rights or whatever, grand rights. Let's do these. These are really good to host, so we'll do one. Here's our collection of daughters and witch covenesses, I guess you could say. Very cool. I get a free diplomacy perk. Get a friend, probably get like a lover or something, or just lose stress. I'll get the diplomacy perk. What do we want to get? I think just maybe like something like befriend. It's nice to have. I guess we could dominate Darfur. Sure, let's do that. There we go. Easy clap. Dominate Darfur just like that. And now a queen. Excellent. Gives us some tributaries over here and just makes our color a little bit cooler, I guess, but yeah. Put up some artifacts if we have any good ones. I think we just have the house banners, right? Yeah, that's all we got. Okay. Cool crown, by the way. Love this crown. Nice. We almost got devoted horsemanship, which won't really change the game too much for us, but it'll be nice to have. I do really want to try raiding the Egyptians again. Like, really badly. It's really foolhardy to do so, but I'm just like that. Okay, I can't help it. Let's see, 11k. I mean, I am a super good commander, right? But they probably also have a very good commander, to be fair. I don't imagine they're not also using a very good commander themselves. Either way, let's try it. Let's go up here. The trick is we have to not fight in floodplains. We gotta try and fight in drylands if we can. So if we think he's coming, then we should definitely retreat to a dry land and wait him out. Oh, but the good loot's over here, though, in the floodplains is the problem. I'm so greedy, I can't help it. I have to get into the good stuff. Oh, there's his army home. We have to get out of here. I just saw them, like, just now. Or we have to get to a dry land. If we can get to this desert, maybe, like, up here, this mosque, that'd be beautiful. Because he's coming. I saw his army being raised over here.
I do move really quickly is one thing to keep in mind. So for example, we could retreat to Anadolu, and I think we can defeat the guys there. Let's get up here. Let's go into Anadolu. There's his army. He's following me. That's a pretty small army, though. Okay, you know what? See you in the desert. I think we can fight this army off pretty easily. Let's see. Oh yeah, easy clap, dude. Bro stood no chance. Okay, we're into Jerusalem now, and there's good money here, so we're happy to see this. There's apostate, by the way. We got to be very careful here, though. We want to maybe just raid like Jerusalem and then call it there, because that is a huge amount of money right there. This whole region is just so rich. Yeah, see, it takes a long time to raid this because of the fort level, but a lot of money. To be fair, because the other sieges are so much faster, Jerusalem probably isn't very efficient to raid, but the RP, think of the roleplay. Okay, we're burning Jerusalem down. Never mind, we're gonna get caught out and killed, aren't we? No, okay, that's just levies, I think. Never mind then. He's leaving as well, he's not coming for me. We're good, we're good. I think we don't push our luck, though. I do think that we go up to Anadolu now. We, move on from here. And I think Anadolu has no chance of possibly defeating us. What we're gonna do is we're gonna raid here until we're no longer hostile with the Arabs, and then we're gonna go back south, through them. There's the Anatolian army up there. Not too worried about them. We're no longer hostile to the Arabs, so we can safely make our way back home. Although we could try to drop by like Damascus maybe, or Homs, I guess is where his capital is. Not even that good for loot though. Let's not worry about it. On the way home we go. Check out our move speed, by the way. We built all these buildings that increase move speed, and as you can see, we're just blazing through this region because the move speed bonuses stack up pretty fast. And because we're not hostile to the Arabs, we can change our plunder intent, as well as not having to worry about getting intercepted on the way home. So it's pretty much a free trip. And we're gonna bring home, what is that, like? That's gonna be like 1,700 gold and like 5,000 herd or something. Yeah, wow, that's pretty good. That's a pretty nice chunk of change right there. We'll use that to build up our realm quite a lot. I didn't even have organized raiders on. Dude, so cringe. I could have been raiding even faster than that. I also didn't even have a general, which would have helped even more. Dude, I could have been so much more efficient. Oh well, it is what it is. Oh, the Dajun boots or cultures have hybridized. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is making this a hybrid. I guess that implies that we can do a hybrid, but I guess not also. Interesting. That must have been an event-based one. Look at this. Warriors of the Dry, Dryland Dwellers, Saharan Nomads, Desert Rabbats, African Tolerance, Warrior Culture. That's almost what I want to go for, just no Warrior Queens, but cool. They took equal martial heritage, which is nice. Love to see that. We can become Kushite at this point, and I think why not. Only thing is, we're going to lose some holy traits. We're going to lose Temperate as a holy trait. I think we can wait a little bit, I guess. I'll just do it now. Sure. And in order to reform, we're going to need control over Wadi al-Mulk and one of the ones up here. We can get one of them pretty easily by just attacking this guy. So let's do that. Easy clap. I'm going to burn everything down once, and then we will worry about distributing the land after we burned everything down. Because that way we get the money directly instead of our vassals or anything. That has already been raided. Nice. Cool. So I'm going to hold on to, I think, these three. Dongola, Miroe, and Wadi al-Mulk, and we'll give away the rest. Let's make more units. I think I want to get maybe just more horse archers. If that sounds good. 15,000 herd to refill. Wow. Damn, that's a lot. So rather than do that, we're going to just like decrease in size once and then increase in size once. And that's a much better way to handle that, I think. We almost have devoted horsemanship, which is cool. I really would like to try and make a tributary out of Egypt, so I'm going to try it. Thing with a tributary war is if you lose, you just lose prestige. So we don't have much to lose here. We're going to try it out, see if we can win. We're going to quickly occupy this little piece of land here. Problem is, this is all floodplains. I want to fight in a dry land. So what we want to do is, want to occupy this and then try to fight in Akasha, if possible. Because our units do not do well in floodplains compared to in dry lands. If we can get a tributary on the Arabs, it's going to get us a huge amount of income. Problem is, I'm having doubts about our ability to win this war, just looking at the current numbers. I'm just going to be honest. And another war has been declared on me. Okay. There's his army. That's an easy clap, I think. These are all floodplains, unfortunately, but in this army's case, it's too small of an army to matter. So I'm not particularly worried. There's the Arab army, just at the perfect time, of course. Daughter died, it's okay. It happens. Let's see if we can win this. Okay, so far so good. Okay, okay. Looking good. Looking very good. Huge W. Damn! Tributary war complete. So that's the power of fighting in the correct terrain.
And now we make a lot of money. Raiding is no longer even a thing I have to worry about. I think anymore. Sorry, I totally stumbled all those words because I was so excited by the fact that I just won the tributary war against the Arabs that easily. But that's huge in terms of making more money. Also, we get a bunch of levies off of them, which is also huge. So, feeling pretty good about that right about now. Using the money from the Egyptians, I can increase my army size immensely. It's wonderful, because it means that later on I'll be able to actually fight the Egyptians, hopefully. Mali's getting bigger though, but I think, yeah, they lost their conqueror, so they're probably going to collapse eventually. Although maybe not, they might hold it together, but we'll see. Daughter can be the new chief law overseer, which means we can get blend cultures to trigger more often. Or rather, more effectively. It's the same oftenness, but it is more effective on each trigger. So that's good. Hopefully it targets the Daju more often than the Nubians, but I guess we'll have to hope we get lucky. Getting pretty old now, unfortunately. But it is what it is. How are our children? Anyone here looking like a good candidate? Not really, to be honest. You've had a ton of kids. Wow. She's just pumping them out, man. Insane. I do want to play as one of my daughters, purely because of the LARP. I want to play as one of the daughters who are doing the warrior queens type vibe. I guess you're a good pick. You've at least got a holy trait. Let me do, like, hold court to try and get more acceptance, because maybe we can get some events that will do well. So far, not so good. Maybe we get one. Looks like no, we do not. We could give away a county for 750 gold. And that's kind of like an amazing idea, just because you could just revoke it later. But we could also just get the mercantile charter for nothing. So sure, I guess. Did not get any acceptance. It's okay. It is what it is. We shall resume. Give it enough time. The chief law overseer will eventually get us up to the required amount of acceptance. It might just take a long time because we have a lot of cultures to go through. I say a lot. I mean, it's only Nubian, Daju, and Urek. Although that one I think can't trigger because it's up to 50, so it's only Daju and Nubian, which it'll trigger with. In terms of why I'm not really doing anything right now, by the way, I really want to make our culture first and then start conquering more of the map, because my intention kind of is to like eventually conquer all of Africa, and you know that'd be kind of like a cool thumbnail and stuff like that. But I don't want to do it before we make the culture, because then it feels kind of like preemptive. I don't know. I want this character's life to be like roleplay wise, I want Laysa here to be like the founder of this culture and this sort of society, and then we begin all the conquest after that. But you know, we'll see. I'm gonna spend this time sort of just building up my yurt, because I have all this money from the Arabs and I have all this herd, so it's pretty easy for me to just build up stuff. And we've made it to 43% acceptance, which means now we can make our hybrid culture, so let's go ahead and do that. The name of the culture I made in the video before was the is like this, the Sarawiyat. For the collective noun, these can be like the Saharan Queens. I don't know, it's a bit of a creative collective noun, but that sounds good to me. And for the prefix, we can do Sarawiyati. I don't know. I think we can just do the basic prefix like that. We're going to take probably East African heritage, or no, we can take Berber heritage, Sudanic language, equal martial custom. We can even keep Berber language, which maybe is good. We just keep the martial custom. Okay. For color, I want something a little bit brighter, maybe. More of like a sort of sandy yellow. Something like that looks good. And then for traditions, let's unclick all of them first, and then click the ones we want. So we're going to take Desert Rabats, Dryland Dwellers, Sahara Nomads, Warriors of the Dry, Warrior Queens, Warrior Culture, and Devoted Horsemanship, I think. We could take like African Tolerance, but I think I'm going to save this slot for the one where you make your weapons magical, the Sorcerer's Metallurgy one. I think that'd be kind of cool. Warriors of the Dry, like I'm thinking about it, in reality, I don't think this is actually worth getting, because it's not really that useful. Like who cares about levy size, you know? So, although it increases bonuses for nomads in desert and dry land, so actually it's probably worth getting. Yeah, okay, we'll keep it then. As for aesthetics, Arabic military equipment, we'll take both names, that seems fine to me. More names is cool. And we'll probably take the Berber style of stuff, and then these are basically the same, but we'll take both. I don't know, sure. Take the Berber dynasties. And that should be good. Let's go ahead and do it. We get Sahel Horsemen from this. These are really good units, by the way. We're going to use these a lot. They get bonuses in floodplains, thank goodness. There we go, we formed it. This is the new Asarawiyat hybrid. Very cool, very cool. It didn't spread a ton, but that's okay. That's pretty normal. We'll spread it around as we go. I'm going to immediately make a big collection of Sahel Horsemen for sure, because they're super good.
Just gonna max out on my units, to be honest. We can afford it, and you know, we have the herd, we have the income. One cool thing about making our collective noun the Saharan Queens is that that's gonna be what pops up on the screen now, which is pretty cool. I can't help but be excited by that idea. It's an interesting name to pop up. Ooh, we can get a new nickname. So previously we were known as the Witch. We could keep the Witch, but I kind of like the idea of the Truth Seeker. That's a cool name. Let's go for that. That's a nice little name, and I think it's... I mean, I guess the Witch was pretty fitting, to be honest, so maybe we've made a mistake, but I do like the Truth Seeker. It feels pretty good. Okay, our truce is up with Nubia, so we can finally declare war. We have quite the just absolutely insane army by this point, to be honest. This is like a ridiculously powerful force. I didn't even like... I think we could take on significantly more powerful enemies than maybe it looks like because of how good this army is, but we won't get too ambitious. I think our next step is to, hopefully within the lifetime of this character, we can reform the faith, and then we can do that, and then we begin the conquest of all of Africa, I'd say would be our next step. Using all the money we got from the Arabs, which should be pretty easy to do. We got this vassal, I'd rather not have her around, so let's revoke her titles. She's of course going to say no, but that's not a problem, because we will destroy her though. Don't forget, we are on very hard, which if I remember correctly does increase the chance of vassals saying no to your demands. So that's probably why she said no despite her being so weak comparatively. But again, it doesn't really matter, we're about to win the war very easily. Here we go. I'm thinking about if we are going to stay nomadic. I do think that we should stay nomadic. The thing is, it'll make culture conversions like pretty much impossible to do, because the way you culture convert as a nomad is you burn down all the holdings, and then the land will change to your culture whenever it like updates. It's hard to explain, but basically this land right here should be my culture, but it's gonna happen once I have a succession. You'll see whenever I play as my next character, it's gonna change over, because it hasn't like updated what the ruling culture is until the county gets given away. It's hard to explain, but basically this will change eventually to our culture, and it's gonna be very difficult to convince all of our vassals to burn down all their holdings, because the AI doesn't like to burn down holdings that much. So it is what it is, but oh well. Here we can see our epic army showing off its power. Very easy fight. Very cool. Change my succession, by the way. I currently have male only. I just realized this. That's definitely not acceptable. We're going to do female preference. Although actually, for the roleplay, it's got to be female only, doesn't it? That's got to be what it is. Yeah. Just feels appropriate. Now in poor health, after all this time, beginning to see the effects of age, I suppose. The nice thing about feasts is they occasionally give you good modifiers like raucous entertainment, which gives you a boost to your health and a reduction in stress gain. Kind of an insane modifier, so we love to see that. And once Queen Laysa here dies, we're gonna not have as good of a commander anymore available, which I think by this point is fine considering how insanely strong our army is. The big thing is going to be that we're going to be lacking a lot of money. Our income is going to be much lower because we're going to lose access to the Arabians. You can see that a lot of our income is tributary taxes, although not as much as I would have thought. Are they not making as much money? I guess because they're currently in a civil war, but yeah. We'll have to make some settled tributaries to get some money, or we can invade Egypt, I guess. That would work too. We could downsize the army, but obviously we would never do that. The army is critical. I think I'd like to do a pilgrimage, because we're going to need the piety for whenever we do reform the faith. We don't have to go too far. Let's go up to Aswan. Sounds good. Thankfully, because of all of our stacking modifiers for safety in deserts and drylands, there's like no danger this entire route, which is awesome. It's always funny when you do a travel where there's like no danger because it's so uneventful, but obviously it's worth it in order to not have to go through any danger, because danger can be very deadly depending on the type. There's always that danger event for when you're at sea, where just everyone that's on the trip just dies, and it's really, really funny. I always find it hilarious whenever that happens. I believe it's based on the historical anarchy in England that happened when, like, the Normandy royal family died at sea. So anyone can get that event, but I find it really funny. Could I get at least, like, level 1 on the pilgrimage, please? Like, I feel like they overcompensated for how easy it used to be. So, okay, interesting. Looks like the struggle was completed, but that's kind of irrelevant to me. They overcompensated for how easy it was to get experience as a pilgrim. So now they made it like really hard, and it's kind of insane unless you take a massive, long, winding route to get to the pilgrimage so you can get enough events to get the experience. But it is what it is. Damn, this is a huge Mali, and I'm very surprised they aren't collapsing. But I guess it's Tajik. Wow, like, This was a crazy, like, story, probably, is how this guy became Tajik. Well, to be fair, it's probably just that he got educated by some random person. But, this is definitely something where, like, if you would read a textbook about the big empire of Mali, and then it was like, oh, and the rulership was, like, Iranian, by the way. It's like, oh, okay, sure. Cool. It just works, I guess. When we attack Nubia again, we're gonna grab the last holy site that we need to reform the faith. I definitely don't have enough piety to reform yet, but we'll get there. Okay. I say there's no rush. We are getting a bit old, but there's not really that much of a rush. We still have some time. I think we'll have enough time that we'll be able to reform the faith before we pass. That war was kind of a joke in terms of how long it took. That was kind of insane. We'll burn all the holdings down and then give it away to someone of our culture. We now have 3 holy sites, which is perfect. In order to reform the faith with making no changes, we'll need another 1,000 piety at least. So that's going to be a bit, but we'll get there. For our next building, by the way, I've been building up the millet storage a bit and getting the golden fleeces, trying to increase our passive income, and building up the camels for more fertility. But I think actually we're going to build the uvu, because we need this for the... First of all, it does give herd income, but second of all, because it can give us piety. So I think we're going to build that next. I think we should also build the barter stall for even more income, because again, we want to get that passive income going. I think we go barter stall and a small court yurt. We don't really need the yurt of the warriors, so we're going to grab the barter stall next for the herd income and also the general passive income. Then after that, we'll grab our last building, which will be the small court yurt for the tributary taxes. I should probably educate my granddaughter, because she's going to be my heir potentially. Let's educate her. We can do a martial focus, of course. We do have a tutor, right? Yes, we do. Get him to educate the children. Interestingly enough, I don't have like a wet nurse slot, despite having the building for it. So if I do this, what happens? I guess we get our birthdays, what happens, but let's maybe get the wet nurse. Is that actually a point one? Seems like maybe that's not working how it's supposed to, because you don't actually have a wet nurse. I'm 80 now, in poor health, fortunately. I think let's do more pilgrimages, because we need to get the piety, so just do some relatively basic ones. Got a new chest. I mean, that's half a piety point per month. Sometimes I think they're pretty underrated, honestly, the furniture artifacts. They can be better than they might look. The point 12 renown is actually not too bad, especially if you're relatively early in the game. You don't have a lot of sources of renown. By now, we have quite a bit, as you can see. So we have a lot of, we have a pretty high... I think this is, yeah, court grandeur above expected level. This is why we're making quite a bit, but we could definitely make more, of course. Yeah, we can continue conquering west now. We'll take over this duchy. The big duchy, so we're glad to take it. There you go, war is over. Nice, didn't even have to even fight, just instant win. Looks like somebody was attacking though. This is probably like a migration or something. We're also going to revoke all this land from the local rulers, because screw them. Not going to disband yet, because we're going to need these men to fight off whatever rebellions pop up. Although in this case, that guy was already in prison, so that was easy. How about you? He says no, that's fair. And immediately he rises up, which is to be expected, but we're already on his capital, so a little bit unfair, but it is what it is. Thankfully, all the guys that are the wrong faith rose up, so that's nice. That makes it nice and easy to get rid of them. Yeah, they're wrong culture, wrong faith. They're also just men, of course. Now, to be fair, I haven't actually been paying much attention to whether or not I've been granting my land to men or to women. So I probably have lots of male vassals, because I think my religion is still male biased, despite my culture. But yeah, it just, you know, role-playing, copium, role-playing. See, this guy, this is a guy, but whatever. Here. We can let men have power sometimes, I guess. What's my vassal limit looking like? I should keep an eye on that. I think, where do we even check that? Here we go, subjects. We have 12 more slots. Okay, that's good. I think we're gonna be just fine. I'm now infirm. Okay, that sucks. I should probably try to reform the faith before I die. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of piety. Can I go on more pilgrimages while I'm infirm? Because that'd be kind of nice. If we don't make it, it's okay. We can reform the faith on a different character, but I'd like to do it here. Here's what we'd want. We'd want female-dominated, of course. Probably like fundamentalist. And then, instead of ritual suicide, thinking something like... So, the good clickbait, okay, getting YouTube meta here. Ritual cannibalism plus female-dominated makes for an excellent thumbnail. But I don't know about that. I think the thing we absolutely need is like... Well, virtuous witchcraft would be nice, but accepted is good enough, to be honest. Unrelenting faith is good for the bonus to prowess. I do really want to go with ritual cannibalism. I think it'd be really funny. Yeah, let's try it if we can pull it off. We need another 291 piety. I think we can do it. Let's see. Didn't even get to level 1. Very nice. Oh, maybe we will? Yeah, we do. Nice. Excellent. That should be enough to reform the faith. Let's see here. So, Cushitism, ritual cannibalism, unrelenting faith, lots of prowess. Remember, the cannibal trait itself also gives prowess, so that's cool. Ancestor worship feels fitting, so we'll go with that. I mean, it's nice to have as well, to be fair. It's not too bad. Fundamentalist, female-dominated, theocratic is fine. Head of faith, I mean, we can grab a head of faith, so sure, let's do that. I think, yeah, encouraged pilgrimages is fine. Always allowed avunculate marriage, yeah. Recruitment? Can't afford recruitment. Okay, it's fine. That would give us even more prowess, but oh well. Okay, if we do clerical, gender can be either, and then we grab recruitment. That's I kind of prefer this for the actual +4 prowess. So we'll do that. For the color, we of course have to go like, I kind of want like a witchy sort of purple. Looks good to me. And then we'll go with that. So the overview, ritual cannibalism, unrelenting faith, ancestor worship, dominated, female dominated, fundamentalist, spiritual head of faith, recruitment, clerical function, and then witchcraft is already accepted, so we're good with that. Cool, here we go. Performing the faith. Beautiful. I think that gave us a temple somewhere, hold on. It did. Okay. Well, we'll have to burn that down later. Or no, it's just that it took it away from a man that held it, presumably. Cool. Can I spread my faith? I need more piety to spread. So basically, our people aren't going to be Cushitic right away, but that's okay. We did it. We reformed the faith before we died. Excellent. Laysa, the Truth Seeker, has fulfilled her purpose. She has created the culture and the faith. Love to see it. So we're going to die soon. Let's check our succession. We do have a stable succession, so Rahima is going to take over with no problems. We have a pretty good granddaughter as well who will rule after her, so this is looking good. I'm feeling quite good about this current setup that we have. I believe we'll die, like, pretty soon here. We're pretty much right at the end of our life now. There it is, yeah, okay. So that was Queen Laysa, ruled for 67 years, died at the age of 85, quite old. And this is the new Queen Rahima. As you can see now, let's see how the culture's updated. Remember I mentioned before how the cultures are kind of weird and they don't update properly? Here they've now updated. So now we have this big Assarawiyat culture spreading across over here. Unfortunately, we have this random like Berber diverged culture, or rather, not even that. It's also a hybrid of Daju and Buter, but it's just like it's over here instead. I don't know like what to do about it. I mean, I guess it can be a cool little side culture on the, you know, extra over here, sure. It's very similar to my culture. It's not very different at all, but you know, it's a thing. Cool. By the way, this is Rahima. He doesn't seem too bad. Also, we kept our tributary. I thought we would lose tributary, but we kept it, which is cool with me. But yeah, she seems pretty good. She's got lots of money. Of course, she inherited from her mother. She's got lots of prestige. A bit of piety, but not too much. And we have kids, so let's educate them. Apparently one of my sisters making her own adventuring camp. That's cool, I guess. Good luck with that, sister. In terms of our perks and stuff, we have martial perks. I think let's actually grab the domain focus. I want to go down this path here to try and get faster construction speeds. And then let's grab, like, befriend, sure. Damn, she has 37 advantage herself. I mean, I was going to say we might lose some of our commander abilities, like, after we die, but honestly, Rahima here is about as good as the previous queen. A little bit worse, but not a lot worse, I'll tell you that. And one thing to keep in mind is that we are in fact ritual cannibals, so let's go become a cannibal real quick. Behead and devour. Oh yeah, love that. Very fun. My heir here, Laysa, she's looking pretty good, man. Good traits, good education. She even has program trait right off the bat. Once again, the nomads are rising up. This is most likely because we went fundamentalists. I went fundamentalist because it felt fitting for the roleplay, but honestly, fundamentalist is not very good for a nomad because you can't convert counties anyway. So you're kind of just like throwing if you pick it, but you know, the LARP is important, okay? We have to roleplay. It's of critical importance, of course. No need to wait around for the herd doing nothing. I'm going to conquer towards the west because we can. I can use just my men-at-arms to win. The thing about raising all of your units is that if you are a nomad, you're going to end up raising your herd, and your herd can be just getting basically wasted, you know, fighting wars that don't need the help. So I'm just raising the men-at-arms and nothing else. In theory, we're losing herd because to reinforce these we need herd, but we can also spend money on it instead. It'll only cost 3,000 gold to reinforce the units. We don't have to reinforce though, this is more than enough men right now. How's the map looking, by the way? I haven't looked at the map in like forever. For Gurids have kind of migrated out of their normal area, although I guess it's just that they had a succession, yeah, so you see that Makron, Punjab, and Gurid here are all one family. Pretty cool. India, other than that, looks pretty normal. The steppes are kind of just disunited. It looks like Temujin died and then just kind of didn't end up doing anything. You hate to see it. That happens pretty often. It feels like it happens a little too often that Temujin does nothing. Europe is looking, you know, European. William the Navigator, fitting name. He found his way over to Sweden. This appears to also be a succession thing, if you look at the split here. England is still Plantagenet, still Norman, still not English. The land itself is English, but the Normans here have not adopted English culture yet. France making some moves to Lorraine, I guess. Very cool. Over in Iberia, we see Castile isolated to Toledo and Madrid. It's like capital. Capital is in Najera, though. Right, because they had status quo endings. These are all empires. Cool Empire of Navarra, Empire of Portugal. These are pretty funny looking. Portugal is huge, though. Portugal and Aragon. Very cool. They're both Portuguese, though. Interesting. Portuguese nobility in charge of Aragon. But Catalonia remaining fiercely Catalonian, as always. Over here we have the Muminids still ruling in the south. What empire did that become part of? That became part of... Oh, it did join the Maghreb. Okay. Cool. Another faction. Yeah, so this is the problem with fundamentalism, is you just get a whole lot of factions constantly. It's okay. I'll weather the storm for the sake of the roleplay, but just, you know, now would be a good opportunity to show your appreciation for my dedication to the roleplay by liking and subscribing, of course.
I want to make it very clear exactly how many of these rebellions came up. I won't show them all to save you time, but it was kind of ridiculous and kind of took over much of the commentary of the mid to late game of this video. You have been forewarned. I'm going to rant about it just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit.
Another uprising. Okay. Yep, it never ends. Please help. Send help. Constantly fighting nomad uprisings. Okay, one more month and we can get absolute dominance. Here we go. Absolute dominance. That should fix our domain limit issue. Now we make even more herd. We could go for unrestricted, but that'll be a long time. So I think we start building up our buildings now. And I think we start working our way west. I mean, Mali is this gigantic empire beside us. Can I subjugate him? I can't. If I could, I would, but it's alright. How about... First of all, we should become an empire. That sounds good. We have to fight Shahanshah Sirman of Mali. Okay, sure, that's Mali. Sure. I think we can handle him. Alright, Shahanshah. I was thinking, what the hell? Why is he Shahanshah? Remember, he's Tajik. I totally forgot about that. So, yeah. Don't know why I raised the entire army when it's just deeply unnecessary. Just kind of wasting herd by doing this, but oh well. I believe my daughter just grew up. Let's see her. That's pretty good. Let's get her married. Probably not right away. Because the thing is, I don't want her to have kids too early, because then they'll be too young, or rather too old by the time that we have to play as them. That's the worry with having kids super duper young, is that then you die and then they're already like about your age. So we'll let her kind of chill for a bit. There's the war over. We can end the war at 80% because we have Peacemaker, as well as Secret History from our Dynasty Legacy. So that's pretty cool. Lets us end wars really, really easily. So now we become the Emperor of Kanem Bornu, I believe. Which is excellent. Gives us this nice blue color. It is a nice color. I like it. We get the Saharan Queens. Love that. Beautiful. Well, these guys all just went independent. Okay, sure. Free conquests in store here. Let's just declare war on all of them at once. Works for me. I would commentate about these wars, but I think by now you know that they are not exactly eventful. Although I am still doing the thing where I burn down one level of the holding and then grant it away. Because that just feels intelligent to do. Although to be fair, we have a lot of money. I don't think money is at all an issue, and it probably won't be for a very long time. Nonetheless, I am building up this court yurt for even more tributary income, so we can steal even more money from the Arabs. We will eventually want to conquer Egypt, so we're going to hit a point eventually where we're going to want to stop having them as tributary, but that point is not yet. The borders are very pretty right now, and I am loath to ruin the borders, you know, but we have to do what we have to do. Maybe conquer Gondar. I mean, this is like just pasture land. Okay, that's easy. But yeah, we want to conquer this land over here for sure. How are our accolades doing, by the way? Level 4 and level 3 is not bad. We can get another accolade. Can we get like an Outrider accolade, maybe? We cannot, unfortunately. Okay.
Oh, I can get Keshigs. I totally forgot we unlocked Keshigs. Yeah, hold on. Pass me some of those, dude. These go insane. Keshigs are just, like, ridiculous. Like, it's hard to express just how insane Keshigs are. Like, they're just ridiculously powerful. So we're happy to have those. That's going to elevate us to being basically unstoppable. Not that we were stoppable before, to be clear. It's just that now we're even more unstoppable. I'm getting my daughter here, my heir, Laysa, married to this random Turkish 5-year-old because he's got a good physical trait. And I'm hoping we can start building up that trait in our family so that we can have really good knights, but we'll see what happens. I'm thinking that we probably release Demot from our tributary ship at this point, because we want to eventually invade them. We can do that. It ruins the borders a little bit, but not a lot. Thinking about if you want to let go of the Arabs as well, the problem is that they kind of fund my country, but only for now. We're sort of slowly working on building up other sources of income that will then replace this guy. We could get some retinue horse riders, but I believe we only get 5 of them, right? So that feels kind of a waste. The thing about retinue units, they are really cool because they have better stats, but you can only make 5 of them, so it's like they suck. What they are good for, in case you don't know, in admin governments, the title men-at-arms, you can spam as many of them as you want as title men-at-arms, so you can get really, really strong with those. But otherwise, like, they kind of suck. We could grab some camels. I mean, we are desert-oriented, I guess, right? But, And we just don't need more than this. Like, we could make more men-at-arms, but with 34,000 men, most of which are actually, like, men-at-arms. Remember, 34,000 seems like a lot, and in many cases it's not, because a lot of it might be levies. In this case, though, like, only 7,000 of it's levies, only 9,000 of it's horde riders, so about 16,000 of it is relatively weak units. Like, even these units are not that bad, but they're not super good. The rest of it is all, like, extremely powerful units. So, yeah, we're feeling pretty good right now, is all I'll say. I'm going to do a war to take over all of Canem now. I did the Expand Dominance CB. Again, I raised all my men. You know, let's actually not raise all the men-at-arms, because, like, we don't need to use the horde riders. Just raise the regular men-at-arms, not all the entire army, because this will be plenty. This is, like, a ridiculous army. 17,000 men, and they're, like, this level of quality. It's just insane. But hey, you know, hordes are overpowered. Who would have thought? Who could ever have thought? Let's go and fight the Mali army. We move really fast because of all of our buildings, too, so we catch armies really easily. Then we just slaughter them. Beautiful. We won the war. I'm gonna fight some more though, because we can. I mean, why not, right? It's free fame, so sure. Cool. Now we have all these vassals we're gonna get rid of immediately. Some people rose up. That's okay. Some of our nomadic vassals even rose up, which is cringe. But it's because they're old Cushitic, I see. Some of them were the wrong faith is why, but they will easily be dealt with, of course. I'm disappointed that these guys rose up against me. How could you do this? How could you do this to me? We have expanded our dominance. Nice. We've taken over a lot of the Amharic highlands over here. Can't quite become the Queen of Abyssinia and Blemia yet, but we'll get there. Unfortunately, our tributary is taking more land along the coast. They were going to have to get rid of him pretty soon, but still his money is valuable, so we keep him. Another nomadic uprising. What else could be expected? At least it was an easy one. One issue with building so fast, you see here we stacked up quite a few bonuses to our build speed, meaning that now we build, what is that, 90% faster? Is that our herd is actually going down pretty fast because I'm spending my herd really quickly on buildings. But I guess it does mean that we get to complete our buildings really quickly, and that is very satisfying to see. So yeah. The large loot sacks, by the way, are super good because they increase your movement speed. Everything that increases movement speed just makes every war so much easier. So you're going to see me doing move speed bonuses like a lot. And I love doing them because movement speed is insanely powerful. It feels like in every game, like where there's movement, it's always really nice to build up movement speed because it just feels so good to move faster. I kind of want to go on a raid right now just to try out my army against something like, say, the Byzantines. But the problem is that we're having all these rebellions constantly, and I don't want to be away from them when they happen. To be fair, I could raise like a portion of the army to go raiding and then let the rest be back home to fight random rebellions. But I want to fight with the whole army, you know? That's what I want to do. For now, I'm just going to keep building up these buildings at insane speed. I'm now running into an issue of prestige in order to build more buildings. You hate to see it, but it is what it is. Looks like the Byzantines had a collapse over here, by the way. I was just kind of like building buildings. I noticed at the corner of my eye this has happened. Also, Seculo-Norman Catholic Byzantine Empire.
That's something. I imagine, was this a Latin Empire play? I mean, it seems like it wasn't. It seems like it just kind of happened. Yeah, okay. For whatever reason. Wow, and it's also got a Plantagenet. Wow, okay, wow, look at this. It's like, this family is... This is something. I mean, it's just interesting stories going on here. There's always so many stories that happen in CK3 in every playthrough that I wish I could have kept track of, but alas, I am not a supercomputer, so I can't. But yeah, it's a lot of crazy stuff happening in Europe. England and France still kind of just like dividing up France like this. I think you'd think eventually the French would get the upper hand, but oh well. Oh, and another uprising, of course. Dude, I deeply regret doing Fundamentalist now. I should have just been Pluralist. Even though Fundamentalist feels funny, because it's like, yeah, we're totally anti-men, the feminarchy kind of thing. It makes the game really annoying, so I regret, but it's okay. There's Duchy of Gobir. Sorry, there's Gobir. There's also the Duchy of Gobir. There's just... And its de jure capital is here. There's a million duchies here, and I don't understand why. I guess I say I don't understand why. It's because of the create new duchy like title decision or whatever, but it's just really funny that this Kingdom of Hausa is just filled with duchies now. Like look at how many duchies are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 duchy titles for like this tiny kingdom is really funny to me. I love that. Anyway, let's worry about these nomad rebels now, I guess. No, another one? Oh my god, it's been like a month. They're already back. Come on, bro. Yeah, there is another rebellion coming, like, immediately. 19 months, okay, it's gonna take a little bit of time at least, but still. Cringe. Is all I have to say. Africa. This is ruled by a Catholic Norman. Wow, okay. That's something right there. We should probably use our Invade Kingdom CB on this guy. That sounds good to me. So we're gonna be fighting our first, like, Europeans here, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna get absolutely bodied. So I'm not really worried, like, at all. Also, damn, Portugal making moves, man. Conqueror Portugal. Alvaro, the true Portuguese of Portugal. I love... This guy is insane. Again, I think the AI is having more epic stories than I'm having right now, man. I mean, just look at, like, this GIGACHAD here. Sancho was also a Crusader. Damn, okay. They've had quite a few conquerors and stuff over here. It's like a whole lineage of Crusaders, man. This guy's the only Crusader skip. Look, it's Crusader, Crusader. These, okay, then I guess it changes here, but insane, man. They do be crusading up in here. Also, England is a tributary of Portugal, it seems. Taking that historical alliance to new levels, I guess. And then France has reclaimed a lot of its land. Very cool. Also, Castilian King of England. I mean, this is just like... You know, Spanish Armada pilled, I guess. Just insane, just absolutely crazy. Sicily also seems to be a tributary of Portugal. Oh no, of Aragon. Okay, yeah, that's also kind of just historical. Italian King of Italy. Republic, though. Okay, wow. I guess in response to the Aragonese conquest, the Italians have united into one big republic. Cool. Again, the lore here is unparalleled, I gotta say. There's the African army, by the way. They're gonna go die in the Sahara Desert while I siege their actually important land, I guess. Works for me. I think we're just gonna let him siege, because I'm just gonna siege all of his stuff. We'll just do a siege race, and I'm pretty sure I win. So, cool. Works for me. Although, I do want to go fight him, because I want to see, like, how the fights go, but obviously I'm just gonna dominate. There's not really any wonder of how it's gonna go, to be honest. We are gonna have another rebellion, though, of course. Here comes the Cenarian Coptic nomads, any moment now. I'll probably just raise some mercenaries to kill them. It's fine. We've won the war against Africa, but I want to occupy a little more land so I can get more out of them. Remember, with the Invade Kingdom CB, any land that you occupy, you personally add to your domain. So we want to occupy as much as we can so we can avoid having extra vassals if we can, you know, possibly get away with that. We'll see, though. CK3 also will end wars for you when you're at 100% war score. Oh, there's the Aragonese army. I do kind of want to fight them, but it's okay. The war is going to get ended for us pretty soon anyway, so it is what it is. There's the Aragonese army, but it's okay. We'll finish this siege, then we'll end the war, I think. Oh, okay, no, it finished for us. Okay, cool. It did mean that now I have this king as a vassal, and I can't... I should be able to revoke his title, actually, but I can't revoke until he's... until our truce is up. Yeah, we have a truce. Okay, rip.
Okay, I'm now at my vassal limit. Okay, so I just made tributaries by accident. Oops. That sucks. Oopsies. We need to get to unrestricted dominance now in order to make more vassals. Ripperoni. Once we get to 75k, we can go to unrestricted dominance, and that gives us a 1,000 vassal limit. We'll be able to have as many vassals as we want, and we can re-vassalize the tributaries we have up here. Oh, they're back again! Dude, I just ended the war! Immediately, they are back. Ah, yes. Nomadic uprisings. Boy, howdy, do I love them. Rise of the Mongols. Oh, okay. Shudukul is here. This is the Borjigan family, so this is one of Genghis Khan's descendants, I guess. Alright then. We'll see how that goes. Good luck to you, Genghis Khan. I am also kind of the Genghis Khan of Africa, so we're kind of kindred spirits, I guess. Another rebellion incoming? Sir, an additional rebellion for you, sir? Would that be pleasing to your palate, perhaps? I'm sure it'll come any second now. Look at our culture, by the way. It's spread quite nicely. This is because this territory all didn't have any holdings, so it spread immediately. We're slowly working our way down here as our vassals burn holdings down. There will eventually be, like, the movement of our culture in here, but it's going to take a while, because the AI is not as willing to burn holdings down as a player usually is. I don't know why. I wish they were, but it is what it is. Keep an eye on the Mongols up here. I don't even know. Where are they? There they are. They're right there. The Kemet Confederation's huge, though. Damn. Good luck to Genghis Khan having to fight off all these confederations. They're really annoying. And of course, more rebels. Thank God for movement speed bonuses. It makes it not quite as bad to deal with all this. Right, and I wanted to get the Sorcerous Metallurgy. Looks like we're not going to be able to get to the late medieval era, so let's just change out, like, I don't know, probably dryland dwellers. We don't really need that. Well, this is nice, though. I guess we can change out, like, warrior culture. This is probably not that worth having. We can instead get the Sorcerous Metallurgy. Takes 10,000 for that. Okay. We need 3 rulers with Witch trait. Well, we can try to make that happen, maybe. But also, we can just get 10k. Wouldn't be that tough. I say that. My character's pretty old, so... Oh, rip, my daughter died, so now we're playing as our granddaughter. Okay. She also seems okay, though. You can educate her. There's 75k. Unrestricted dominance. Is there a greatest of Khans for, like... I guess I don't get to know anymore, but you can't really be greatest of Khans over here, can you? We can at least consecrate our bloodline. That's cool, let's do that. Alright, in the brief period of time where we don't have a rebel uprising, I'm going to try to imprison the King of Africa and take his kingdom. Let's see if we can get away with it before the next set of rebels rise up. Personally, I think it's not going to happen. I think there will be another uprising before we're done this war. But we'll see. Yeah, see, there it is. It didn't even have time to finish this tyranny war. Very nice. Very, very nice. There we go. So now we can at least get the Kingdom of Africa. This is going to make it much easier to re-vassalize those tributaries I gave away by accident before, because we're going to be the righteous ruler or whatever for them. What is this? Bodpa? What is this, like? This guy is such a random culture. Why is he here? Oh my goodness. Random Tibetan guy in the middle of Africa, I mean, sure. Got a Scourge of the Gods, Somali Conqueror over here. That'll be fun to take care of later. Another rebellion defeated. Surely another one will come up in a moment here. And I've died. Okay, there we go. We passed away. Rahima, she ruled for 32 years. She was pretty good. Not quite as GIGACHAD as the, you know, the first queen. But here is now the next queen, Laysa. My granddaughter. She's pretty okay. Arbitrary isn't so good, but it's not bad. The extra natural dread is pretty good. We have an actual independence faction, by the way, and this is a lot of people, but I think it's no big deal because our men-at-arms are just that strong. We do have a Coptic Nomad Rebellion as well incoming, so that's nice. Also, looks like, interesting. England is now Navarra. Again, AI is just kind of having a more interesting game than I am. I say as if my game isn't interesting, but that's something right there. This is a crazy EU4 moment. Like, what this would be, if you were translating this to EU4, yeah, whatever, independence faction, I will not be threatened. If you were translating this to EU4, this actually would technically be a Navarra who's, like... So, a Navarra with Brittany and London, so like Essex, like this whole region, as direct domain, like as a direct territory, and then a PU over in England composed of East Anglia, Kent, like all this stuff up here. That's what this technically would be in EU4. And then I guess Wales, I'm not sure, I think Wales would be part of Navarra directly, and maybe it would be part of the English Like, I think he'd be part of our direct, not part of the English personal union. Same with Ireland. Unless he makes the kingdoms. Because if he makes the kingdoms, then they'll be, like, separate realms. But basically, in EU4, each kingdom title corresponds to an actual nation. And then this guy would just be in a PU with both of them, with Navarre being the senior partner, with the capital in Brittany, hilariously. But yeah, that's just really funny. Same would happen with Portugal. Although in this case, actually, no, they have one title, so this is all one kingdom. Oh, they have a vassal kingdom, so I guess they'd have a vassal of Leon, vassal of Cantabria. But yeah, that's really cute. Nice. 39 prowess. Dude, look at this kid. 39 prowess at the age of 13. She's just ridiculous. Another nomad uprising, of course. It never ends. It never ends. I mean, it will eventually end, like, once everything gets converted and culture converted and stuff, but just that it's dependent on our vassals burning holdings down. And that can take a long time when the vassals are just kind of unwilling to do it, so... yeah. Basically, the answer is just don't be fundamentalist, because it really sucks. As a nomad. As a non-nomad, you can convert stuff really fast to fundamentalist, so it has a usage. But as a nomad, like, you're just stuck being horribly intolerant. Now, to be fair, kind of reflects the... I guess the desire as a nomad to usually be pluralistic, is like that way people don't rise up against you. So maybe it's actually like a gigabrain like simulation of reality, but nonetheless it's really annoying. So yeah, fundamentalist nomads don't work. Don't do it. It's not worth it. There we go. We've won the Independence War. That was quite easy. This will allow us to get rid of all these Catholic rulers up here. We could consider actually like settling. One thing I was thinking about, if we alternatively choose to not unite all of Africa, we could actually do an overrun Kingdom CB and just move into like, I don't know, Scotland or something funny. Geatish King of Scotland. Wow, this is like some this is some Beowulf type shit right here. The Geatish, like this is like, these are like a people that's mentioned in Beowulf Chronicle, right? I don't know. I just, every time I look over here, something even worse is happening. We're back to Castilian, or I think it was Castilian the whole time, just they didn't become Navarran before. Still Portuguese Aragon. I don't know, man, this is just there's a whole vibe going on here. Byzantines are reclaiming their old territory, but keep in mind it is Seculo-Norman Byzantines, it's not Greek Byzantines. And another nomadic rebellion. Part of me wants to stop being nomadic just so we can stop these rebellions. That's part of what I'm feeling right now, is like, yeah, can we just, can we go ahead and leave the steppes, the African steppes, just so that we can stop with all these nomadic uprisings? Maybe. Oh, I should eat someone. I just realized we're not a cannibal yet. That would help us a bit, actually. That would actually help us quite a bit with not having as many, like, rebels and stuff among our own vassals anyway. There we go. That helps. Gets us a bunch of piety as well. It's the ceremonial consumption of a random male prisoner. That's, of course, what we do. We could eat some more. I mean, you know, I'm growing. Look at me. I'm 15. I'm a growing young lady. We gotta get more, you know, sustenance here. And there's lots of sustenance to be had here. Most of these guys are literally just, like, people that have rebelled recently. The, like random peasants all that have rebelled. So, cool. This is a little snack, a little night, you know, I don't know, I say nighttime snack. Like, we're sneaking into the pantry, grabbing a little snack here. Unfortunately, this guy is our faith, so we shouldn't eat him, but he's a man though, so he gets eaten, is what it is. 42 prowess at the age of 15. Yeah, it just works. Also, I'm ill. I guess it seems like the meat was maybe bad, you know, shouldn't have eaten it, I guess. These men, they poison their own meat to try and kill us women, us based women. Culture is spreading, as you can see. This is actually like a gigantic culture. It's kind of ridiculously insane. But, you know, we're slowly spreading it around more and more and more. I am an adult now. Level 3 education's not too bad. I think I'd like to increase that right away, though, if we can. So maybe we just, like, immediately go for a university visit. How's my learning stat? 10? I should get married to someone with high learning real quick, even if it's just temporary. This guy has, like, genius, so let's go for that, and hopefully we get it. Hopefully we get genius or something off of the kid that we end up having. Alright, we got 2 perks. We didn't get the upgrade to our education trait, but that's okay. Could have been worse. This book is at least not too bad. Small health boost. Could be worse. I'm gonna grab Serve the Crown just for the natural dread. And then maybe like Bellum Justum for the reduced war cost, because that way we can declare more wars. And we're gonna be spending most of our time just dealing with more nomadic rebels, I guess. There they are. Yep, right on cue. Thank you. Yo, Turco-Persian culture going hard here, by the way. I didn't even notice this. Turco-Persians have just taken over Persia. Cool. Same with the Bretons over here. The Normans have just completely overrun the Bretons. Oh my god, the Swedes doing historical Finnish colonization real quick. They're even getting forest folk, I guess probably because they've taken all this. And although there's lots of forests in Sweden as well, but it feels very appropriate for the Swedes to invade Finland and then take forest folk. Just feels very funny. Let's use the time between rebellions to attack the Somalis. How much to reinforce my men? 83,000 herd or more than 8,000 gold. Oh my goodness. Could pay like my entire herd to reinforce, but how about instead we don't do that and we just accept that we have a slightly smaller army than we otherwise could have. How about that? How about we don't use our entire herd to reinforce the army once? I forget that he is a Scourge of the Gods, so his siege speed is kind of insane. Also, there's a car making a honking noise, and I hope it's not going into the microphone. But it stopped now, so that's good. Even his move speed's pretty good, but to be fair, he's also a nomad like I am, so that would help him, but yeah. Moves pretty fast. I think I'm gonna lose this battle too. Damn, bro. Scourge of the Gods, more like, I hate you. Yeah, very creative, I know. Decrease the size, increase the size, decrease size, increase size, just, you know. We're losing a little bit of our maximum army size possible, but in return, we're not having to spend our entire herd to reinforce. So, you know, works for me. And thanks to that little technique, we're now back up to a massive army again. And all it cost me was, like, way less than it would have otherwise cost me, is the way I would describe that cost. I've had my first son here, a genius, but unfortunately a man. He'd much prefer to have a daughter. Yeah, this battle's going a lot better. Very nice. Okay, I want to see if maybe I can just capture the Somali leader, although it's pretty unlikely because your ability to capture a ruler in combat is based on their prowess and their intrigue, as well as some traits. So like if they're wounded, they're easier to capture, for example. I think it's pretty unlikely we're going to capture him based on his prowess and intrigue scores. So we'll just, you know, not go for capture strats, I guess. We'll still fight him though where we can, because it's war score. Very nice. We can at least wipe peace out of this if we end up being overwhelmed by the level of insanity of this Scourge of the Gods. Easy clap. There we go. Oh, we got him. So, I think it's worthwhile. We could win the war. I'd rather execute his ass. Eat him. Maybe we can gain his power by eating him. Yeah, that way no more Scourge of the Gods. Thank goodness. That makes this a lot easier, a lot more manageable. Because I do not want to have to deal with the Scourge of the Gods constantly. Bye-bye. We got rid of the Scourge of the Gods, and we also took over all of Demot. Very nice. These guys are the wrong culture, wrong religion, so let's get rid of them. Portugal is basically uniting Iberia here, by the way. The true Portuguese Alvaro. Love that. Sicily conquered Rome. Oh my goodness. Bro, you're Catholic. You can't just do that. That's insane. And he even made a dynasty branch about it. And his parents are... Dude, this guy is like... This whole family is just so GIGACHAD. This is just one of the brothers between the Byzantines and the Sicilians. I guess he made his own family in recognition of his conquest of Rome. And then he gave it back to the Pope. GIGACHAD. Oh my goodness. Wow. Watch that happen in like real time. Also, Scotland. Yeah, okay. Geedish Scotland, to be clear, but Scotland nonetheless. Yeah, that's something. Novgorod. Yep, okay. Well, I think let's do the expand dominance play for Songhai first. And then we already have the king in our prison, so he'll become our vassal and we can revoke his territory immediately. The moment this war begins, I'm probably going to get another rebellion, aren't I? I'm ready. Give me the nomadic rebellion as I'm talking about getting one right away. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to happen. They can do it at any time, by the way. They're just choosing not to. There it is. Yeah, see, there it is. Okay, it took a little bit, but it's here now. He's right there at least, so I can go and get him. There we go. That was at least an easy one. Very beautiful Mali borders here, by the way. I gotta respect the borders right now. Very beautiful. They've consolidated, like, the entire region. There we go. We've won the war. Excellent. All I did was occupy up the river and then fight one battle, and that's that. So now we gain this guy as our vassal. He's already in our prison, so revoke title immediately. Boom. And I'm gonna stop revoking every single title from every single not correct vassal, just because it takes too long. Like, it's just too much work, it feels like, so let's not bother anymore. Of course, there's going to be another Nomad Rebellion pretty soon, so going to war maybe was foolish, and we'll be out of the way of our rebels. But you know, what could possibly go wrong? Also known as the Young. I mean, I am pretty young, so that makes sense. That name won't make sense given enough time, but for now it does make sense. There's the rebels. Yep, I should have known. Collapse of the Great Khanate, okay. Like, we have now Mongolia under Subutai of Mongolia, with the golden lineage. Chagatai under Kuildar of the Chagatai. We have Chigu of the Golden Horde, and we have Ugunutai of the Ilkhanate, based, I guess. It's all Nestorian except for the Ilkhanate, which is Muslim, which makes sense, I guess. Pretty cool. Big Nestorian Mongol Empire over here, that's cute. Well, they've got some Muslim vassals, it looks like, over here. Yeah. Cool. Very cool to see. I was kind of hoping maybe we'd end up fighting the Mongols for the entertainment value, but it's alright. It's no big deal. It looks like the, okay, finally, the Egyptians are no longer paying us tribute. They've decided they're done now. So we could declare a retaliation war immediately, but I think I'm going to let them go so that I can invade them and take over Egypt and stuff from them. That'd be kind of cool. I had a daughter finally, so this is my new heir, and she's a genius. Okay, excellent. Laysa, I guess the third this will be at this point. Also, Portugal has attacked me. Okay, cool. I think we can fend off Portugal. But, epic. Where are the other rebels? Oh my goodness, these rebels, they never end. Just raise the whole army, including the Horde. Let's just go and have some epic battles against these Europeans. Regardless of how this run goes, this will at least be a very climactic moment, fighting all these Portuguese and French and everything here. I say climactic, I think we're going to absolutely stomp them. It's going to be kind of insane and ridiculous, to be honest. I want to make sure that I'm leading, at least for the cinema factor. But I don't imagine this will be in any way a difficult fight. Here's where it becomes super difficult. Just watch. Yeah, we're just gonna stomp them here. Yeah, it's so insane. It's just so insane how good our men-at-arms are. They really tried. They really gave it their all. How much money do I get if I win, by the way? Probably like 20,000? 10,000. Okay, not bad. Not bad. And the war with Portugal. 10,000 gold, you know. Not too bad of a haul. We'll take it. I gotta save my prestige, though, to get Sorcerous Metallurgy. I still haven't gotten, like, one of the cruxes of the culture that we have here. Sorcerous Metallurgy. Still haven't gotten it. I really should go do that, shouldn't I? I think it's just that I'm just kind of, like, focused on other things, I guess, so I haven't bothered. But basically, Sorcerous Metallurgy would allow us to make cool artifacts and then give them out to our knights. But I don't know, it's a lot of, like... It's the kind of thing where, Dustin Herder, okay. It's the kind of thing where we'd end up, like, doing it once and then getting bored of it because we wouldn't need to. That's the thing, is that we're so powerful right now, even on very hard. Remember, we're on very hard, by the way. This is apparently very hard CK3. It wouldn't really matter, like, giving our knights swords, and then they're really powerful, because, like, this army's already completely unstoppable. I'm pretty sure I could fight, like, literally, like, the most powerful realms in the game right now. Maybe Genghis Khan could have posed a struggle. Maybe. Genghis Khan could have posed a struggle, because he's truly powerful, but yeah, I think we're good. All these guys are the wrong everything, but oh well, I guess. I don't know. I do very much like how Africa's divided right now in terms of the borders. It's, like, very pretty. There's at least that to be said. Is there actually no rebellions coming up? Wait a minute, what? Are there no nomadic rebellions? This is crazy. Wait a minute, we're actually free right now. Insane. Let's declare the war now, I guess. By the time we're done, Egypt will probably drift that stuff in. If I were to do an expand dominance, what could I get? Basically anything that's not, like, Egypt. Okay, I see. Well, let's do invade kingdom. We're going to go for Egypt, and we're going to manually occupy all the stuff over here. Right now, we've occupied everything that I want, so right now we would take all of this land when we finish the war, which looks pretty good. It would leave this stuff over here not in our hands. We could try to occupy the last pieces of Abyssinia that he has, but that is quite a few occupations, or we can just go and fight over here and win the war right now. So let's just do that, I think. And Corsica and Sardinia are here, okay. Sure, buddy. Good luck with that one. I love when the AI tries to be opportunistic, because, like, you know, it's like they're trying, you know, they really are trying. They're just really terrible. Also, we just got a cool crossbow out of that battle. Hold on a minute. Prize crossbow. Damn, that's good. Oh my goodness. Now, this gives raid speed, but advantage in hills, enemy fatal casualties, prestige, plus 10 prowess. Hard to say no to that. New crossbow, let's go. Before the war ends, we'll try to take a few more counties if we can. Let's just go over here and grab some. There we go, there's the invasion war over. So as you can see now, we've expanded massively. We've kicked the Arabs mostly out of Africa. They still have like Eritrea and parts of Ethiopia and stuff, but done some great work over here. Let's burn everything down. Because, you know, wherever we go, we bring prosperity and happiness and joy and, you know, nothing else. Just prosperity and happiness and joy. Alright, we gave out the titles, and now it's time to fight the Corso Sardinians? I don't know. Basically, you know, the people that are trying to invade us. That's what we're trying to fight now. They've landed here, but they're just in the plague, which is, you know, cute. I'll let them chill in the plague for a while. Portugal has basically united Hispania by this point, by the way. Very well done. Unfortunately, the true Portuguese died. Alvaro the First. Rest in peace, buddy. New Dynasty Legacy. We already completed Nomadic a while ago. So, what else can we get? Maybe like customs. We could try to get more acceptance, I guess. But also, this isn't really going to be very useful for us. Could just do blood, I mean, sure. Hard to say no to blood. Always a good one. Damn, look at this culture. Oh my goodness. We've successfully spread the culture so far. The vassals are slowly burning down all the holdings and slowly spreading the culture. You can see here, normally there'd be a bunch of Kunuri and Hausa people here, but they're slowly going away as you burn more things down. And over here, same thing. This is normally like Nubian, Ethiopian, but we're moving in ever so slowly. It takes a long time to spread the culture as a nomad, but when it does spread, it's very satisfying. Especially because you know what's happening. You know, like you have in mind, like, oh yeah, you know how that's being spread? Just like total destruction of all the local people. Amazing. I'm waiting till the plague goes away to fight the Sardinians here, to be honest, but we could just like move in and just not care about the plague, but I don't really want to die, so we are waiting for the plague to go away. Got a new dagger, nice. Cool. I'd say it's not as good as our prized crossbow, but it is what it is. What we can do, by the way, is we can actually give this dagger away to one of our knights, and I think a good option is probably like one of the acclaimed knights. So for example, this dude, this is Pen Titawin. We can give him control over that dagger, so we can gift artifacts, and then we can give him... We can even give him some armor as well, but let's give him the High Queen Laysa's dagger. This is going to increase his prowess, because he'll equip it. And then what armor am I wearing? I'm wearing the... I should wear the Bedouin Lamellar armor, and we can give away the flexible scale mail and the prize armor. So this is the idea behind the Sorceress Metallurgy build, is that you can take your knights and you can give them stuff, so that makes them better. We could give this dude the prize armor, or we could... Yeah, prize armor's fine, maybe... Yeah. No, we'll give him the flexible scale mail. It's just more prowess for him. So now he has, like, 44 prowess. Now, there was a patch a little while ago that reduced the amount of damage that knights inflict per prowess by like 50. So they're not as dominant as they used to be, but they're still absolutely dominant. Basically, you can just fund a bunch of artifacts and give them away to all of your vassals and stuff. Even without doing that, though, you see, like, for example, our High Chiefess here. She's got 45 prowess. So, like, you know, it's just... We have these insane knights already, despite not even having done the actual build yet. Got smallpox? Just cure me, bro. Easy. Very risky to have done that for something like smallpox when I'm only 32, but still, that'd be funny. And it was funny, so I'm happy. There we go. Peasants are defeated again. They'll be back, though. Don't worry, they'll be back. It won't take long. Yeah, like I said, it won't take long. They'll be back. They're back. Yep. Yes. Paradox, I beg of you, please. Change this. I'm not saying fix because it's not a bug. This is working as it's supposed to, I think. But please change how this works. This is absolute insanity and not fun. It's horrible. To be fair, if you want to tell me that it's like you should never be a fundamentalist faith on the steppes, just make it so that like fundamentalist faiths can't be created by people with the steppe government or something. I don't know. Like, I guess to be fair, I don't limit my options, but like, you know, just maybe cool it a little bit on the never-ending peasant rebellions when it comes to being fundamentalists. It is truly never-ending. It's crazy. For those wondering, by the way, why exactly these nomad rebels are just so terrible, it's because they're using the same system as the regular peasants, in the sense that there's a difference between populists and peasants. With peasants, if they're unhappy, they will always progress towards rising up no matter what. And I believe the idea behind that is that even if you're like super strong and no one can defeat you, the peasants are angry that you're at war for like 100 years or whatever, so they're gonna rise up because they just rise up out of anger, right? So that's what they do. You put them down, they make you lose control the moment they rise up, so it's still a pain, whatever. Normally populists have to have a certain level of power to be able to attack you. For example, these are the regular Sao Ashari populists, and they are not actually going to rise up because I'm too powerful. They're not going to be able to do it, as you can see here from the military power line. These nomads, though, will always rise up. And here's the thing. This, to me, would make sense for a settled ruler who has control over nomadic counties. But motherfucker, I am nomadic. I'm one of you, okay? I understand you're the wrong faith and the wrong religion, but you should probably be joining a populist faction instead of a nomadic faction. I'm just saying, okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't know, that might not be the perfect change. I don't know what the real change should be, but this is just no fun. In 14 months, I'm going to deal with another one of those rebels. 14 months is like kind of a long time, to be honest. I'm a little bit impressed at how long that is compared to what I was expecting it to be. I don't know. I think I'm kind of done at this point. I know that we were going to unite Africa, but I'm kind of just feeling done with this playthrough now. It's been a long playthrough. It's 1300. We played for 120 years. We had a good time for sure. The cannibal man-eating faith was very fun. We're going to go ahead and eat whatever prisoners we have left, I think, because, you know, that's fun. So, you know, as I sort of discuss the finality of this playthrough, just observe the joy of consuming all the men in the prison. Even the girls, too. I mean, you know, sure, they're not, they have internalized misogyny, okay? So they get eaten too, I guess. It was fun. I think that the Sorcerer's Metallurgy build is a fun idea. The thing is that ultimately, you don't really have to do it because you're just so strong as is that you don't need to worry about it. It definitely could be more fun if you were playing in, like, say, multiplayer and you want to get the advantage over another person. Be like, yeah, let's make all these artifacts and then spend all the, you know, artifacts on increasing the prowess of our knights. That'd be kind of cool. But beyond that, like, you know, who the heck cares? It's a fun idea. Naming all of your artifacts and swords and stuff in order to create, like, these cool magic items that your knights use is definitely a wonderful idea for roleplay. But I'm lazy sometimes. I'm lazy today. Being lazy because I'm being drained by all the peasant rebellions. So, yeah, you hate to see it. But anyway, there's more men to eat here. I'm eating them. They're so delicious. I feel like I'm getting a full stomach at this point. You know, eventually you gotta say enough is enough. But for my greedy ass tummy, never is there enough. That early play where we made a tributary out of the Arabian Empire was very pog in my opinion. I felt that I could beat them if I had the right terrain. Remember, we fought, I believe it was literally like right here was where we fought. I wonder, is there a, does there happen to be a point of interest there? Just curiosity. Hold on, yeah, just whatever. No, there isn't, I don't think. Yeah, there is not, but we had a big fight here in Akasha. And through Akasha, we were able to win because the Drylands gave us bonuses to our Mulatamun that we wouldn't have gotten if we were in the floodplains. Same with our Sahel Horsemen, although they get floodplain bonuses, but yeah, it was the fact that we had the Mulatamun with Dryland bonuses and the Horseherders with Dryland bonuses, whereas they don't get any bonuses in floodplains. So it was very nice to be able to fight here. This was a big moment for us fighting in this particular county, or rather province. But yeah, lots of fun, lots of fun.
That concludes the story of Laysa and the Saharan Queens. She's achieved a lot and created a world where women warriors have a place in at least one continent, but perhaps her victories will inspire more cultural revolutions across Europe and Asia. Regardless, this build could have been even more insane than it was if we'd gotten Sorcerer's Metallurgy, but of course it was just unnecessary to aim for that given how insane the army was by itself. Give this build a try yourself and maybe take the Saharan Queens down another path. There are lots of kingdoms to overrun and men to eat, as well as different builds entirely. You could go down an intrigue build path and kidnap delicious meals rather than fighting for them, among many other options. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your time.